Hey, my friends. How are you guys doing?
Hello,
Thanks for
Lucas.
joining us for the cupping.
Thanks
Well,
for having me.
yeah. First of all, we have Max here with us from Doing Money. Before anything, before I can talk a little bit about the cupping and everything, I believe that would be great for you to introduce yourself. So please, Max, tell us a little bit about yourself, about Doing Money. Yeah, please go ahead. Feel free.
Okay, so hi everyone. First of all, thanks a lot for having me. I am really enjoying this opportunity to, talk about these very fine coffees. And yeah, just to give a little round about myself. My name is Max Jakubowski. I'm from Frankfurt, Germany, and yeah, I come from a family that has been involved with coffee for a long time. My great-grandmother has been roasting, and my great-grandfather has been roasting ever since 1914. And so in that family tradition, a couple of years back, I opened up my own roastery because I wanted to focus more on, specialty coffee and a more distinguishable cup, let's speak. So that's what we did here, and we built up this roastery right here with our Probot roaster right here, the UG22 Retro by Kirsch and Mauser. And so that's our baby, where we roast everything in up to 20 kilo batches. I prefer 15 kilos though, as the 70% rule, I guess, suggests. We do our sampling roasting here on the Ikaba. So the samples that I will cup here today are done with the Ikaba. And yeah, a little note to myself, I like all kinds of coffees. My roasting style, I guess I would describe it as open up the drum as soon as possible without underdeveloping any roasts. So we don't do the dark stuff, the overly dark stuff, We usually like to develop our beans too, though. So I would go for the most balanced cup possible. The most ripe possible roast. That's kind of what I'm aiming for, where all the aspects of the coffee are most balanced and most present. So I believe that every coffee has its point at which it is supposed to be, and then there's coffees that are, a little bit more forgiving and that allow a little bigger window, and then there's the ones that it have that sweet point, very, very in a very tight spot. So we are always looking for that, and yeah, so that I guess is our philosophy, to have the coffee. At its most representable point, if we are able to find it. But I guess we became okay at it. So yeah, constant journey. I'm sure everybody involved in the game can copy that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's anything else you want to know, please go ahead and just ask.
Yeah, I like a lot because like you said that you came from a traditional family that already worked with coffee, and then you decided to open up your roastery, your own roastery, to work with more special coffees, like with specialty coffee.
Yeah.
And how was that transition for you? How did your family? How was the thoughts of your family on that?
Yeah, well, I talked to my my grand aunt in that case. She was the descendant of my great grandmother, who became the business owner thereafter. So the second generation, so to speak. And I have always been kind of the experimental department when I was working for my family back in the days. I was doing sourcing myself in Guatemala and stuff, and traveled to a bunch of places. We got some coffees out of Ethiopia and all that. So I was always on that end, and I was always interested in the specialty end of coffee. But as the family tradition and old school second wave things dictated, I didn't have that room within that traditional company, because they were using the standard Santos stuff. If you talk about Brazil, they were using Sidamo at most out of Ethiopia, some Java Blavan estate, so estate coffee, and there's nothing against great estate coffee, and there is good estate coffee for sure, but sensorically the more interesting part was the specialty end, of course, and so I more and more got into that. And at some point, there was the question, what are we going to do? Are we going to take the old family brand and put like something on top of it, kind of like the black line or whatever, or, that kind of thing. But that wasn't going to work out because, the customers of the traditional brand, they were looking for that kind of stuff. And my new products would only cannibalize part of that. So we decided, no, you have to open up your own company and have a free playground, so to speak, in order to develop your stuff, in order to, live all the things that you want to incorporate with what you're doing. And in the beginning, it was hard for me. It was like, oh, damn, now you have to start at zero. I can't just clamp onto a brand that has been existing for 100 years. I have to, redo that process. And I was a little, I was kind of thrown into cold water. But I am even the more glad right now that I had to, because all the experiences I went through, all the wonderful people I met, and also having to do things and really having to work for your living and all that stuff makes you a little bit more stern and a little bit more, also, you have to think about what is the ideals that you want to represent and where do you want to take it. And I was always intrigued by the coffee, the specialty end of coffee, because the way that people work together is very tight, and it's a very nice chain from the very first point of that value chain, so to speak, until the last person who actually will drink the cup. And that's also the father of our name, so to speak, that kind of concept, that holistic, caffè due mani, two hands, in Italian, in a sense that if you want to have a perfect cup, or I don't know, perfect is not a good word, but a high, a valuable cup of coffee, everybody in this value chain has to work with a certain commitment and personal involvement and stuff, and love and everything, in order for this product to be optimal. If just one person or one process in some way goes just a little bit wrong, you are already subpar, and that's very intriguing. It's a very honest, ideal, and to strive for that and to subordinate, the whole acting under such an ideal, to me is very intriguing and very fulfilling. I'm really like I'm so deep into this whole specialty coffee game, I will not get out anymore.
Perfect, Max. Thanks for sharing that with us. That a lot of people like it to hear that, and maybe it will. Some other people would like to hear that, and maybe use that as a guide for them to move to specialty coffee or something like that. But anyway, let me first introduce.
It's definitely perfect.
Let me explain how is that going to work for the guys who are watching us on the YouTube and at our link right now. So we are going to first do a cupping of 3 coffees today, and we are here with Max, who is going to cup with us. While I'm explaining, feel free to grind some coffee and get it ready.
We'll get ground right now, so just a couple of seconds here.
Go for it. So, and after we talk a little bit about the coffee, we're going to invite the producers so they can explain what they did to create those amazing cups of coffee. And then they're going to explain a little bit about their lives, about the farm and everything, so you can actually get to know them better and also understand how they created those cups of coffee. So today we are going to cup the 418 from Patricia, which is from São Paulo. It's Obatã, the variety of this coffee, and it's a Super Natural that I really, really like. I hope you're going to enjoy as well. This coffee is all made from filters from this coffee, so it's really, really good. We also have a coffee from Romário that is the 403. We're also going to cut this one. He's from Matas de Minas. The variety is a Catuai. The process is a Super Natural. And also we have Sidney Portillo. The coffee is the 409. This one is one that I really, really like. He's from Matas de Minas as well. The variety is a Ready Catuai. And the process, it's a sprouting. The sprouting process is anaerobic fermentation. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on the day. And yeah, that's it. Hope that you guys have this coffee as well. And you guys are also grinding them and getting everything ready. I'm going to heat the water right now so we can start really, really soon.
Yeah.
Here you go. What about you, Max? How is that going for you?
Yeah, we're ready. We're at the same point as you are.
Amazing. I already grinded the coffee for me before. Oh my gosh, I take this plate off and they smell so good.
Yes, they do. I will just tilt my screen a little bit. I hope you guys can see this. This is our cups down here, or maybe I'll go from the top here. Maybe that's a little. Can you guys see that? Is that good?
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, perfect.
Great,
so
great.
I'm ready. I have my boiling water here, and we can start if you want.
Okay.
Dry fragrance is definitely. All right.
Yeah. The first smell of those coffees are really, really good.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the 409, fragrance-wise, is really intense. But also 418, you can sense immediately the citric acidity. And also on 403, it's also very balanced and everything. But yeah, we're ready.
Let's start it right now. Yeah, let's go.
We can go.
My timer is starting right now.
Okay.
Do it. Okay. There you go.
All right.
Ooh. Yeah. Exciting coffee.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some time running. We'll wait 4 minutes so we can break the crust. I'm already smelling them a little bit. Good.
Yeah, very nice stuff. Okay, so go back to here. Now you guys saw the. Now that you guys saw the whole. So yeah, just to repeat, we used 10 grams of coffee here, and we used 158 grams of water up top. So you have a total beverage weight of 168. And in our previous cuppings, we measured TDS, and they were all around like 1.2, and you know, around 20% extraction, 19% extraction. So and in terms of the maybe while the 4 minutes go along, I'm on 150 right now. How about you? In terms of time?
Exactly the same. So you're doing good. I guess we're together on this one.
So I just wanted to briefly talk about the roasting profiles that I used. You know, I used my Kava roaster for all these coffees, and I used 2 profiles, one short and intense one, let's say. You know, that went for. Let me see where it is. Here it is. Hold on. Yep. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah. So that's short stuff, you know, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, and 4 minutes and 20. And you know, you can see by the difference here of the bean temperature and the exhaust temperature, if you will, of the Kava, that this was the faster one. And then comparison-wise, the other one, flatter, longer. Okay, so
great to see that you're sharing that, so people can, if they didn't roast their coffee and they're watching this, they will be able to replicate exactly what you were feeling. So that's
definitely nice. I can post that definitely. What I did there also, I tweaked the profiles a little bit. There are 2 standard profiles that you can find on the Kava webpage. Okay, I have 3:30 now, so we should get breaking here soon. But you can download those profiles yourself and tweak them yourself, so they're readily available. I intently used like stuff that was available on the Kava website, so that more people or many people can easily replicate this kind of process.
That's amazing that you thought about that, so people can actually easily follow what you did, and hopefully they are going to have the same experience that we are having right now. So I will start to breaking the crust right now. Oh yeah.
Wonderful.
This 418 is really, really good.
Yeah, super amazing in terms of the citric acidity. That's really like, I guess, the one standout point that this coffee has. It has an immediate acidity that will enter your mouth like immediately, you know.
Exactly. And this 403 as well. Smells super good.
Yeah, 403, super balanced, you know.
Super balanced, exactly.
Very creamy also, but we'll talk about those aspects when we actually taste.
Exactly. And the 409 as well, just smell that. You can see that, like, you can already smell how fruity it is, like just from breaking the crust. So yeah, super good as well. I'm excited. Let's see.
Yeah, super juicy, very, very berry-esque.
Okay. I'm starting to clean the cup right now.
Yeah, this Obata varietal is something new to me, actually. So yeah, but it's I really like it. It's very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, I mean, this 418 in terms of, you know, when you smell it, you can smell yellow fruits. You know, definitely a high level of citric acidity, and like a sort of a medium body, but that really still allows for a lot of sweetness. You know, but I guess the one very distinct aspect in terms of fragrance is also that very punchy acidity, you know, in a good way, punchy in a good way. And then we have the 403 you have next in line, right? Yeah, this one is just super balanced. It also has yellow fruits in it, I believe. But a little bit more on, you know, the 418 is more on the citric side, lime, you know, bergamot type aspects, also floral aspects, you know. So that's that end. And then you have in 403, it turns a little bit more orange, I guess. That acidity, it becomes more of a mandarin type flavor, maybe even like blood orange, you know. So that's the kind of cupping notes that I have there. But it also has a very creamy and you know, toffee like base. The body is there, you know, milk chocolate, toffee, mandarin, blood orange, everything there, everything well balanced. I really like the balance of body and acidity in 403. So balance, I would say, is the number one trait that can be hung high in terms of this coffee. And then the 409. You know, very thick body, good acidity, but a very, very thick body, and you know, blueberry, very caramelly type coffee. You know, also some nuts. I tasted macadamia nuts in there. You know, so that's definitely also very multi-layered and very, very interesting. Cup also in terms of its fermentation. I'm sure we will hear about that.
Yeah. Like I'm in 9 minutes right now. Let's cut them.
Let's go. Yeah, I have my 8 minutes 30 here, so let's go. Oh yeah, we do the official thing here with the cup, you know.
Good.
Yeah, wonderful. 418. Yeah. Tea-like. I would say tea-like, you know. Black tea, but also that very nice citric aspect, you know.
Yeah.
Lime and bergamot, you know. And also, you know, with this one, with this coffee, maybe I can get into that at this point a little bit. With this coffee, I used a slightly higher baseline on the roast. So I roasted everything just like a little hotter, you know, because I felt that my initial roast was slightly undeveloping the bean, and then. But it's definitely one that can be used with little amount of DTR. You know, you can definitely roast that coffee at the very light end. You know, and if you put it out the drum on the very light end, you will have a bunch of citric acidity. You know, and then if you go just a little further, which I did with the second roast. And I perceive the cup to be more balanced there, and I'm a sucker for sweetness, so that's just my natural point of where I like to be. You know, I don't go for, you know, full acidity except for like, you know, the coffees that are made this way. And this one is kind of a coffee that could be done this way, but then you can go also a little further, and then things also develop on the berry-esque type of things, you know, or side of things. Like
and we can get a lot of sweetness in this coffee as well. You said that you roast that a little bit longer. I can also get some brown sugar on this, like this molasses filling at the mouth. So it's really
definitely.
It's really complex. It's a really nice coffee. The kind of coffee that you really enjoy to have at the table and drink all the time.
And it's very clean cup. You know, it's not so multi-layered compared to the 409, but it's very distinct in the flavors that it portrays. It's a very clean cup, and it's kind of, you know, for a pulp natural, it almost tastes washed, if you know what I mean.
I understand completely. The feeling of it, the mouth feel of it as well.
Very clean, very silky, you know, in terms of its mouth feel, but yet a good amount of acidity and long aftertaste. And, you know, I really love it in terms of its combination of the immediate acidity. You take it in your mouth and wow, you know, acidity is there directly. And then you have this, you know, this I don't want to say herbal, but tea-like kind of middle, and then, you know, very sweet finish. And as you said, if you roast it a little longer, I even get like hints of raspberry, you know, and that's a really nice combination that you only get from like high-class Colombian stuff these days. You know, that combination of like highly citric acidity, you know, combined with like a hint of berry, yet it being a clean cup, you know. So that's aspects that go very well together, and that I really appreciate about this cup. Yeah.
That is an amazing way to describe this coffee. Like I don't even have more things to say. You did the whole job. So yeah, congratulations. I just have to agree. One last sip on this one because it's super good.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's do. We're at 403 now, right? Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Very balanced. Yeah. Very balanced.
very fruity. This one.
Fruity, sweet. I would say it's. I said it's like a little more on the orange end. It's not so brightly yellow. Let's say, you know, it's a little bit more orange in terms of the color spectrum of the flavor wheel. You know, I would say mandarin and blood orange as an immediate thing that I could grasp, you know. And on its body end, I wrote down a toffee and milk chocolate.
Oh yeah.
So it has a very caramelly type, creamy type finish to it, also mouthfeel wise. Also you can sense the lactic acidity in it, you know. Out of all the coffees, it's also the highest grown. Maybe you know, there's some correlation there. You know, lactic, the lactic taste of, you know, you can like, you know, some people when they cup, they do like the
when you get this mouthfeel,
and that's kind of what you can do when you taste this coffee, you know.
Exactly.
I really like it. It's in terms of balance. You know, balance is the one word that I would hang high here. You know, it's very nice. Everything is so nicely integrated, and if you like mandarin, you know, and that orangey type fruit, then that's a very good option. Yeah.
Exactly, and this this coffee, it has like such a really good balance that it's the kind of coffee that it is super special, but you can still drink it like all day long. And that's a good thing because this is a coffee that it is super good, but we also have a lot of side this one. I mean, not a lot, but there's like 2 pallets of this coffee, and it is like really, really good taste for this kind of profile that I really enjoy.
Yeah, very round. It's very round, and it has a good body. You know, it's and also what I like about it is that lactic aspect, that milky, creamy type mouthfeel that also stays like I can still sense it now talking. You know. And that's definitely something that stands out about this one is the longitude of the aftertaste, you know, and that's flavor wise, you know, that's definitely a plus for sure. Yeah,
definitely. It keeps on your mouth for long. Yeah. Let's go for 409.
409. Let's do it. Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Yeah. So with this one, I guess it's you have to put this in a different context because it's a different process. But if I were to put it with the coffees that are done this way, and you know that's a very good job, and I'm very intrigued about this coffee, I have to say. You know, it has a very thick body, you know, and I like body, you know, I can't deny it. I like body.
Yeah.
But it still has good amounts of acidity. You know, it's not like the acidity is subdued by any factor of the body, you know. But you know, it's definitely the body that speaks here. The sweetness is outstanding. You know, it has this blueberry, blackberry type aspect to it.
Exactly.
But also caramelly aspects. You know how you described it as blackberry pie is quite. That's it. You know, like it has this doughy type. Like caramelly type thickness to it, and then it also has this just amazing berry, but still also floral aspects, you know. So I call this like the floral funk, you know, which is something that you nowadays just get from, you know, maybe some very high class Ethiopian naturals. You know, that combination of, you know, berry and the funk and, you know, your mango and all that stuff, but still a little bit of that jasmine, a little bit of that flowery aspect that we all love about actually like more the washed part of things, you know.
Exactly.
So this combination of the two is something very unique, and I really like that. And you know, also the mouthfeel it delivers in terms of you know, just as long tasting aftertaste as the other one, you know, very long lasting berries, you know, in the mouth. And then it has a certain silkiness about it that also, you know, transports this whole like, you know, balance between floral and berry-esque, and, you know, like all these different layers dancing around on your tongue and stuff. So yeah, I really like the multi-layeredness of this coffee. And its silkiness in terms of the mouthfeel, and maybe and something that I forgot to say in terms of the base or the body it has. It also had, I tasted some macadamia type nuttiness to it, and so yeah, that's an amazing cup of coffee, and if one likes this kind of fermentation. Certainly if you prefer the clean cup, you would more go for the 118. If you like the funk, you will go for 409. Not that the funk is that dominant in this one. I know that in specialty coffee, we are over this funk thing in terms of its, there's some coffees, some naturals, for example, that are overly funky, that are almost type, that almost go into a certain area where you might say, maybe the fermentation went a little too far, some of the acidity aspects become kind of like strange and kind of like overdone, but not with this one. This is very delicate and very nice. I really like this coffee, but I also really like the other two. They, in themselves, they are all fantastic, and it just depends on what kind of coffee you want to drink at the moment. If you want the one thing, you will go for the one thing. If you want the other, you go for the other. But fantastic stuff. I really have to applaud all three farmers for their work and what they have done, because over here in Europe we still have that conception of Brazilian coffee sometimes that but this stuff is closing the gap to as I said, it's comparable to a high class Colombian on the one hand, and it's comparable even to Ethiopian naturals on that 409 end, and the 403 is just a very good example of very, very nicely placed balance in the cups. So that's how I would describe them in short. I'm sure we could philosophize more about them, but this is kind of what I wrote down, at least.
I mean, I'm just glad that you're here to give such a good description of every single one of those coffees. I really, really enjoyed the way that you talked about them. And about this 409 that I didn't talk much, I agree completely with you. Like, it has this very fruity, but it also has a really delicate floral that you can also get from it, and that I really, really enjoy. Like, you can get like a really good body from it. Like, yeah, you come straight to those berries that I wrote down as blackberry pie, and you get a lot of it, which feels really, really good. Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it a lot. All of those three. Is there something else that you'd like to say about them?
No, all in all, I just, I'm amazed by the quality. I would also concur with the scoring that has been given to these coffees. And I also agree with the aspects that have been already communicated. And my cupping notes, were just to kind of, describe it maybe in a little bit more detail. And I'm sure there's more stuff that I missed. I'm not a Q grader myself, but I'm sure there's some sub notes that might be there, that I didn't talk about. But all in all, I'm amazed, and I'm very glad that I was allowed to get these coffees and try them and experiment with them, and now to tell you guys what I think about them, how I perceive them.
Okay, amazing. And you also said that you had some questions for the producers. That if you would like to leave them so I can talk to them, they're start to join us in this call. So soon I will move to talk to them. and ask them a little bit about their coffee. And so if you'd like to leave some questions for them, I would love to ask them as well.
Okay, that's whom you were talking about. I didn't quite get that. That there was some kind of connection. You were like blanking out there for a second.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Great. So soon the producers are going to join us in this call.
Yes.
And I would love to hear if you have any questions for them, so I can ask them whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm interested in Patricia's coffee in a way that this Obata varietal is new to me, and maybe you can talk a little bit about it and how it came about and what it is, you know, because it's new to me, and yeah, and then also about the 409, about the sprouting. It says sprouting on the sample, and how just like a small explanation about how that goes about, and you know, is it some sort of combination of you know, aerobe and anaerobe fermentation? How does it go about? How does it work? Is it like, you know, I know the term pre-germination. Is it the same, or is it something else? And just I'm just interested on the way this is done, you know. So because I haven't come across this term in that sense, so an explanation.
Amazing. I will answer this one myself, because I talked to Sydney. He was in I talked to him, and he was in his farm today. He was going to move to another place so he could talk to us, but unfortunately it was raining and he could not leave his farm. So he unfortunately will not be able to join us. Mm-hmm. So he sent me an audio to explain everything about this coffee and everything. So I will answer this one myself. So about this coffee, this is sprouting process. One that produces here in Brazil. They are trying a lot. This kind of semi-carbonic maceration, but without the injection of CO2. So it is anaerobic fermentation, and this is more or less the process, the sprouting process that they call this sprouting process. So I'll explain how Sydney did this one. So Sydney harvests this coffee, all the really nice selection of the beans, and then he puts this beans into a tank, a sealed tank, for 9 days, and then left there so it can get like anaerobic fermentation. And then after it, he dried those coffees on raised beds for 50 days. 50, really slow drying. He said that that's what drives this coffee to be so fruity. This is what gets this coffee to get, because it has such a long contact with the natural coffee. It stays for long with this connection. Therefore, it gets this really very fruity flavor and this really nice body that you could feel on this coffee. So yeah, this is
more saturated sugars migrating and stuff. Okay, I get it.
Exactly. So we call it as a sprouting process, because this situation, this anaerobic fermentation, causes the bean to keep sprouting a little bit after you harvest it. That's more. It came from the idea that here in Brazil we end up harvesting the coffee much before than what people usually do in Colombia, for example. So they decided to keep germinating this coffee a little bit longer after they harvested it. So that was the idea for the sprouting process. And yeah, you saw how the results came out. So yeah, I hope you like it.
Yeah, I love it. Really interesting stuff, for sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, that answers the question. Thank you very much.
Nice. So, well, I just have to thank you for everything. Is there anything else that you'd like to say? Because if not, I will move to talk to the producers right now so they can better explain how they did all of those copies.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead. I have nothing to add from my side. I hope you guys could take something away from this. Yeah, no, just my props to all the producers. Your stuff is really awesome.
Amazing, amazing. So yeah, many thanks, my friend Max. I just have to thank you very much for having this cupping with us and for such a good description of every one of those coffees. You did a really, really nice job. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked the copies that we sent you. Not only those three, but also the other ones that you have with you.
We always do. We always do. Yeah, very nice. And yeah, I can only give that back to you. Thank you, Lucas, for meticulously working on detecting what we like and sending us the stuff that we like, and you're really doing an amazing job there. And thank you also for this opportunity to be able to present those amazing coffees. It was really a lovely journey for me. And it really taught us over here what is possible in Brazil, and that there's some really good stuff coming out on the specialty side of things.
Okay, many thanks, my friend. So talk to you in another moment. Many thanks for having this customer with us. I will move towards talking to the producers right now. Patricia is already here. Talk with us right now.
All right. Many greetings, and yes, thank you so much.
Bye. So, bye. Now I'm going to, for the roasters that are hearing us right now, I'm going to switch to Portuguese right now, and then Isis is going to keep translating this for you guys. So yeah, now I'm going to start speaking Portuguese.
Hey Patricia, how are you? Can you hear me well? Yes, I am. Happy New Year! Yes, Lucas, you've abandoned me. Yes, so Patricia, I'm super glad to hear you. Even with this amazing coffee that you've produced, I'm even gonna cup it again. This coffee for real, Patricia. This one you made it right.
Esse aqui que você fez foi o do Boia, certo?
Sim. Ele é um café que a gente tem. Ele é de colheita mais tardia, de maturação mais tardia.
This is the latest harvest coffee. What at the end make it the acidity and the sugary to be more perceptible, because there is a process of maturing that is later. This is the harvest that we make from a previous harvest, and this one was my latest one. So I waited longer to make the crop. All the work that we do is a manual since the beginning of the process until the very end. So it's a really delicate process. Yeah, so this year I stayed firm to everyone that helps me to take the extra care with this coffee and to be really delicate and take all the care needed. So yeah, this coffee, the bean is an Ubatã. It's been 3 years that I take care of my property and all the managing the harvest process. And this is a variety that I already had, and it's known for producing really great coffees, resulting in great coffees. So the quality of the beverage at the end is really high and elevated. I have other varieties like Catucaí, but this is the newest production that we just started,
Sim. Essa foi exatamente a que eu
like the
falei.
Arara one. But this coffee that you've tried, this is the oldest one that we are
Queria
used to
conhecer um
work.
pouco mais sobre essa variedade. E ele até brincou que, se eu não me engano, o outro café que ele comprou seu foi um Obatã
So,
também.
if I'm not wrong, the other coffee that he bought from you was a Ubatan as well. Yeah, this year we had a small harvest of Catuai. Catuai or Catucaí. I don't remember exactly, but it's one of those new varieties. But we just had a small harvest. So, not saying that it wasn't a great beverage, but the amount and the quantity wasn't as I wanted. And next year, I'm expecting to have a bigger crop. So this type of coffee is one that's already planted, and we are taking extra care to make able to use the grains to make a better coffee. So we take all the cares that we have to do with the process of cultivating the coffee and the harvest, only doing using as many as we can of the care and taking care of the environment, and not using industrial toxicants to avoid the bugs.
Resultado bom, né? Que não adianta eu só falar assim, eu sou a dona e eu não tô lá, mas eu tô sempre do pé, né? Eu tô olhando direitinho, né? A gente tem que fazer isso.
So yeah, I'm always take extra care to be together with everyone that's producing the coffees and doing some stuff myself to make sure that all the coffees will be part of the process that is respecting the environment and that they're doing delicate. So this coffee is an altitude coffee from 100 and 102, 1,000 and 1,200. Altitude really detailed and really taken care. As I said, this is the later coffees, so one of our latest. So I believe that maybe we had an extra care, the drying process, and then goes to the dryer. And the after harvest process, we had an extra care to make sure that they have a great quality. So yeah, it has a more accentuated acidity. So yeah, the person who helps me told me, look, Patricia, you can say that it has sensory notes of honey and all of that, and I laugh and I say I don't understand that much about it, but yeah, I believe that it has more these characteristics. And an important thing to say that I've already told you, that is at the farm we produce like a thousand, 1,200 bags a year. And I also can produce like 500 bags of some coffees, not exactly this one, but other coffees that are as great as this one. So we have this capacity of producing high quality coffee with bigger amounts. So, and we try to keep the same quality of the coffees every year. So you'll never see a coffee from a year that will be so much better than the other one. They are all going to have a great quality and similar traces. We also try to make the environmental impact as low as possible, and we take care to keep doing that because it's really important for us. So, Patricia, tell us a little bit more about your story, because I know that you've started not longer ago at your farm, and it's super nice to see that you give all this attention to sustainability. It's super nice. So it's great for the roasters who are watching us to get to know you better. Yeah, so my name is Patricia. I'm 47 years old. I'm a lawyer and I also administrate the farm. I used to work at the financial work until my oldest daughter be grown. But when she was born, I couldn't conciliate the maternity with the financial mark. With all the demand that they had was a lot, so I didn't have time. So after that, I dedicated the few years to my kids, and I thought about going back to work only after that. But I also kept helping my husband and everything. And the last idea that he had was to buy this farm, trying to diverse a little bit more the investments that we were making and the activities that we had, because we thought that buying a farm will be something that will give us a little bit more of security and safety in the investments that we had. So at the beginning, I wasn't involved with all the process and everything. And after that, I decided to help. This was 2019, at the beginning of the year. And I've stayed 1 year following all the steps closer and adjusting the things, because from there I decided that I want to be compromised with what we are doing, with our collaborators, the person who provide us the things that we need, and everyone that I work with. I have this that I want to be respectful with everyone. So at the beginning we had 15 employees so that we can make everything work just fine. What I can say is that I'm super happy because all of my employees, they can have vacations and all the rights that they deserve. So I believe this is a great thing. We are doing all this work, we have this regularities with all our employees. And this is also important for us because we can make sure that we're going to have great results since they're happy working and doing what they're doing. This passes to the quality of the coffee. And being close to them and creating and bonding and creating a great relation is also important and something that I really work with.
Mas a gente consegue quebrar essas barreiras e eu acho que o resultado está sendo bom,
sabe? And I believe that the result that we are having is being great. I explain everything to them of what we want, where I want to get to. And every time I can, always that we have a time, we like to gratify and prize our employees, because the great results that we are having is work to them. I believe that the higher compromise that we have, the hardest part is trusting the employees and everything. And since I was not from the city, it was difficult to get in the confidence and the trust from the people from the city that I'm living, but we managed to do everything. Little by little, we adjusted everything and developed a great way of relation with everyone. Now we're doing a hard work to improve every time more and more, and what we can do to achieve the better quality that we can have.
Já falei pro pessoal que esse ano eles estão perdidos, porque ó, vai ter que trabalhar muito.
So I've already said to them that this year is going to be a year to work a lot, because we really want to achieve the best quality that we can.
A gente morre aí no meio do caminho, né?
Because we always have to innovate to keep going on the market.
Porque eu sei que você teve toda essa jornada para começar no café, aprender e ver cafés como esses aqui aparecendo na mesa, sendo que você começou há tão pouco tempo.
It's super great for us to see coffee as great as this one that we have here at the table, knowing that you started not long ago. Your coffee is amazing. It's super complex. It's sweet, but at the same time have a great acidity, and working with this complexly in a really well-structured way. That's what's the most beautiful thing of your coffee. As the same way that Max said that he really liked your coffee and it has its sweetness. And this is, works really great for a lot of roasters who are here at this journey with us with the specialty coffees. So again, congratulations for all the process. I'll even cup it again. Yeah, this is really great. This part of the yellow fruits, super sweet. You can feel brown sugar, caramel. Really, really nice. Well, thank you so much, Patricia, for being providing coffee like this to us. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to sell this to the realtors who are watching us because they got to know you, they certainly getting to know your coffee, and we hope we're gonna be able to send it to you.
Quiserem ver, sabe? Não é porque eu tô falando aqui, as coisas estão acontecendo lá. Então a gente está totalmente aberto.
Yeah, we are fully open to answer all the questions if they want to come here to meet the farm or see pictures. We are here for whatever they need. Okay, perfect. So, well, now I'm going to say a little bit about the Romário coffees. He's having some technical problems here. I don't know if he's going to be able to enter and join us, but he was trying to do it right now. I hope he does. Yeah, I really hope he gets to enter even with the technical difficulties that he was having. But either way, let's go. I'll cup his coffee. Even after all this time that is chiller the coffee, it maintains all the quality and it being amazing coffee. It's super, super sweet. All the coffees that we have here today, they're sweeter, really fruity. It's even a surprise when you see that it's a pulped natural, because it reminds more of the natural coffees. Because it has that taste, really, really fruity taste, really interesting. You can feel a little bit of chocolate as well. Like all the red berries, you can really feel that. And I really love Romário because actually he entered in the coffee having in mind to help his cousins who produce the coffees and helping them with the developing of the specialty coffees. I really wanted him to be here to tell this story, but he entered at the coffee business in order to help a social project that he has. He makes wigs. Actually, he's a hairdresser, and he makes wigs to help people with cancer. So he has the social project, and he sells the coffee to help financially this project that he has. So he produces the coffees to generate the money that he needs to take his social program on. So he also, at the end, he also ended his neighbors who was producing the coffees, and with the help that he was giving, he helped his neighbors to produce better coffees, and even at his coffees. So this coffee is really fruity, really, really tasty. So everyone that is cupping this coffee right now, I hope you're enjoying it as well. I'll give a vision overlook of all the coffees that we had at the table today. Even that Max said, I'll talk quickly about each one of these coffees. So let's go. Patricia's coffee. Really interesting coffee, really complex. Brown sugar, yellow fruits. You can feel the floral taste at the end. That's the kind of coffee that you could drink it forever. Patricia is here with us, so congratulations, Patricia. This coffee is amazing.
Voltando aqui pro Romário.
Coming back here to Romario's coffee,
Também café bem frutado, bem
it's a really
balanceado.
fruity coffee as well,
Muito
really well
interessante
balanced,
também.
super interesting.
Consegue sentir a forma que ele bate na boca,
You can
ele
feel the
completa
way that the
bastante, então é
coffee fulfills the
ponto bem
mouth,
interessante nesse
has a
café
really
também.
interesting body.
E vindo aqui pro Sidney,
And coming here for Sydney's coffee,
ó,
oh wow.
esse café é muito bacana também.
This
Muito
coffee
bacana.
is super nice as well, really
Você sente
fruity.
me lembra bastante. O primeiro gole lembra muito.
At the first
Uva,
drops
blackberry,
in my mouth,
amora,
it reminded me of
muito
grape,
sutil,
star
bem frutado
fruit,
nessas frutas
really
mais
fruity,
pretas,
but going
frescas,
to
assim,
all these purple
bem
fruits and
gostoso,
blue
bem
fruits.
interessante.
Super
Não esquenta,
interesting, really
café
tasty,
super
but at
delicado,
the same time, it's a
com
really
finalzinho no
delicate
floral.
coffee
O Max deu
that you
até a
can feel the
referência falando um
floral.
pouquinho que parece café etíope. Muito
Max even have said that it
interessante
reminds a
mesmo.
little bit of
Bom, eu queria
an
dar parabéns
Ethiopian
para esses
coffee.
3 produtores que mandaram super bem.
So I'd
Ótimos
like to say
cafés para gente ter hoje
congratulations
na
to
mesa.
all the
E pelo Max
producers, they
também,
did
os
it
outros
super
cafés que
great.
você, seu repador,
I
está
hope
provando hoje
all the
aí.
coffees that
Além
your
desse taste,
roaster
todo mundo
is
recebeu
cupping with
alguns
us right
outros
now,
além desse
that you're
taste.
enjoying them
Que
as
vocês
much as I
estejam
enjoyed
curtindo,
this
porque
ones.
a gente seleciona cada
So
café
we
olhando o
select
perfil do seu
all
repador,
these coffees
na
having
intenção
in
de que
mind
você
the
tenha a melhor
profile of the
experiência
roaster that we
possível
are sending
pensando
to
no
it.
seu, no
We
seu
always
perfil mesmo,
think at the way
tá
that will
certo?
suit you
Então,
better and
bom,
will match your profile and
eu
your client's
queria
profile. So
agradecer a
it's super
todos
important for us
que
to have your
assistiram
feedback,
aqui
and we
a nossa
hope
live,
you like
falar
them
um
because
pouquinho
we
aqui
took an
só
extra care in
da
selecting them.
forma que a Farm trabalha para que
So
quem
I'd
ainda não
like
está
to reinforce a
familiarizado
little bit more
entenda
of
um
the way
pouco
the
mais.
family
A
works
Farm
for
basicamente
those who
facilita para
doesn't
que
know us
produtores
yet.
consigam vender o
So
seu
we
café direto para o
basically
seu repador ou seus, e a
allows
gente
that
está aqui exatamente para
the small
facilitar
producer
todo
sells
esse
their
processo
coffee
aconteça.
directly to
Mesmo
the
que você tenha
roasters.
algumas sacas de café,
So
uma,
even
duas,
if you
três,
have only
10,
one
a
bag
gente
of
consegue
coffee,
fazer com que
two,
esse processo
10,
aconteça para
we can
você.
make
Então
sure
a
that
gente cuida de
you
todo o
can sell
processo
this
de
coffee
exportação,
outside.
importação,
We take care of
logística,
all
para
the
garantir que esse café
logistics,
vai chegar com
paperwork
qualidade lá fora.
that you
E
need,
aí
and
a
we
gente
make sure
facilita
that the
também toda
coffee
essa
will
parte
arrive
de
in Europe with
comercialização,
the
que a gente
same quality
conhece
that it
diversos
had before
torrefadores lá
leaving.
fora, com quem a gente tem contato,
So
entende qual é o perfil que eles
we
estão
have
querendo e
we always
facilita para que
we are
você
always in
consiga
touch with
fazer
our
essa
roasters in
negociação de forma
Europe with
direta.
the
A
we
gente está
have a
aqui
profile
sendo as
description of each one
ferramentas
of them,
para que
so
você
we know
consiga vender
exactly
esse
which
café lá
coffees
fora
would
sem
match
você
with
ter que
what
se
they are
preocupar com
expecting.
todo esse processo
So
de
you
exportação,
can be sure that
importação,
we're gonna find
logística, tudo
someone
isso.
who will
A
love the
gente toma
coffee you
conta e
produced.
também faz a comercialização desse
We
café
take
para
care of
você.
all the
Então,
logistic
criando, e
process,
é
and
claro,
we also do the
informações sobre o seu
commercialization
produtor. E a
part of
gente
finding
também é
someone who will be
100%
interested in
transparente.
your
Então, você
coffee
consegue ver
in a
exatamente quanto você, como
completely
torrefador,
transparent
está
way.
exatamente
You
quanto
can
está indo
see
para cada
exactly how much of the
uma das
parts
partes,
involved in
quanto o
the
torrefador
process
está
are
pagando,
receiving,
quanto ficou para
how much
exportação, quanto
is the
ficou para
logistics
importação.
costs,
Isso aí
how
a
much
gente é
the
100%
roaster is
transparente.
paying,
A
how
Farm foi
much is the
criada na
family
intenção de
commission.
facilitar
You
para
can
que
see
tudo isso
everyone, all
aconteça.
the parts
E a
involved
gente
in the
é um
process. You
negócio
know
com impacto.
exactly at
Nossa intenção é
for
fazer com que
what
todos os
part the money
produtores
is
do
being
Brasil
directed.
cada vez mais vendam cafés melhores, seja reconhecido pelos ótimos cafés que eles estão
So we
produzindo.
also
Então,
want to make
bom,
sure
é
that
por isso
even
que a
the
gente
small
traz
producers
aqui
are being
produtores do Brasil,
recognized
contar a
and
história
receiving the
deles
merits that they
cada vez
need for
mais
the
chegarem mais
excellent coffee
perto
that they are
de você
producing
ser
and
o
all the
produto.
hard work that they
Então,
had.
o que vocês precisarem, se a gente puder
So
fazer
for
para
whatever
ajudar,
you need,
podem contar com a
whatever
gente.
we can do
Tá
for
bom, meus
helping
amigos?
you as a roaster or as a
Muitíssimo
producer,
obrigado a todos que
don't hesitate to
acompanharam a
get in
gente
touch
aqui,
with
tanto
us.
os
So
produtores
thank
quanto os
for everyone
torrefadores
who
que
is
estão assistindo
following
com
us,
as devidas
all the
traduções.
roasters and the
Então,
producers on
muitíssimo
Facebook as
obrigado.
well.
Tomara que vocês
Thank
tenham
you so
gostado
much.
bastante,
I hope you've
que
enjoyed the
tenham
cupping
curtido esses ótimos
as much
cafés,
as I
assim como
did,
eu curti.
that you have
Forte
liked
abraço,
these
meus amigos.
coffees.
Tchau, tchau.
So,
Muitíssimo obrigado
goodbye,
por
my
terem nos
friends,
acompanhado.
and thank you so much for being here with us. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye. Have a nice day.